Joe Burrow working out of the gun on 3rd and 9. Fires it to Jamar Chase, and he's got a first down. Their own 18-yard line. Burrow, quick hitter, trying to get Chase out there, and somehow gets away. That they needed to get that first down is a high number. At the sticks, Chase.
And he should have been in the Hall of Fame way earlier than he went in.
And Mongo like candy. Burrow throws to the outside, caught by
one. Starting to get looser and looser on the field.
Burrow throws it. And complete on first down.
2nd down and 9. Quick pass. There's Jamar Chase trying to use the block of T. There's Chase. Nice catch by Chase. His 2nd of the day across the 30.
Washington is all over it. You see he undercuts it, forcing Joe Burrow to pump fake, but he's still able to get it out there to Jamar.
Burrow, and he's got Chase for the first down. 2nd and 10. Quick pass to Chase. Blockers ahead. Chase inside the 15. Burrow going that way. Chase has it, and he's got enough for a first down with a flag down in the backfield.
Out of youth back there. On 3rd and 4. Burrow's pass finally gets to Chase. It looked like possible. 8 of 11 for 53 so far for Burrow. They flip it across, and there is Jamar Chase.
Find ways to get him open.
Long throw sideline, and Chase goes up and tight end Sample is in there to block. Burrow gets it out along the sidelines, and the catch is made. It's a first down. Chase went down and got it in front of big electric play of the season. Burrow finds him across the middle, spins free, and shows some strength. Comes out to the far side, high throw, and Chase is the back. Burrow from the pocket delivers a strike. Chase has it. That's the most space he's had tonight, and he's got the first down to the Rams 44. Chase and Higgins off to the left. Burrow looking that direction. It's a slant. Chase goes back behind him and makes a terrific catch, and the Bengals pick up the... That was a terrific hands catch.
Look at how he has to reach back behind him because Russ Yeast is coming down into that hook curl zone, and he's thinking, I got to pick. Lou, I got to pick if you throw it in front of him. I got to pick.
Burrow gets it to him. Jamar Chase looking for opportunities to contribute. Just 2 carries in the young season. Fake it to him. Burrow on the move, lofting downfield, and Chase who's got it. Jamar Chase.
You see him right here. He gets caught. He doesn't gain depth, doesn't help his safety out. And Jamar Chase brings it inside and takes it right back out of Keller Witherspoon. You see him right there.
It's a great job by Joe.
I mean, that's nice. That right there, off of the ball handling, perfect play.
Chase has got it again in the perimeter. There he goes. Chase makes the catch and jumps up.
Fake it to him, give it to Chase on the outside. Spins through some tackles and picks up very good yardage. Man, nearly got to it, did Arden Key. Instead, breaking free is Jamar Chase. Burrow hit, delivers on target to Chase in front of Fulton. Burrow, slant, Chase. He gets some. There is Jamar Chase. We'll set up third down. There's the first conversion of the day for the Bengals, and it's Jamar Chase. 6 grabs. It's 12 straight games for Chase now with at least 5 catches. That's the longest streak in the league. Yeah, it's another one, his 7th of the day, into Christian Fulton, his old buddy from LSU. He picks up 5 there.
Figure out who's going to be that replacement for T. Higgins. That's where he's most dangerous with his big body.
2nd and 2, Burrow to the sideline, and Jamar Chase with 2nd down and 11. Burrow finds Chase open over the middle, and Chase with a first down. Burrow, pressure comes. Floats away, backs the other way, and into the end zone for the touchdown. Jamar Chase, his first touchdown of the season.
And he's just going to mosey back up into the pocket and settle That's his magic right there, and that's when this team...
The smile on his face when he said, I think I'll be good today, made me believe it.
Burrow going to the air for Jamar Chase, who puts on the brakes and gets a few extra yards up that far sideline.
Off of that calf and drive the football.
Let's fake to mix it. Burrow to Chase. 5th catch of the day for Jamar Chase, loping up the sidelines.
With the run attached. See?
There's Chase. You called it, Mark, the little RPO. Off the play fake. Looking for Chase again, who makes the catch.
The two of them.
Puts the onus now on this Cardinal defense to get a stop. They bring pressure. Burrow throws to the sideline, and there's... On 1st down. Burrow with time. Looking deep. Looking for Chase. He's got it. And Jamar Chase on the deep ball for the touchdown. 63 yards. Burrow to Chase.
Well, here goes Jamar Chase. He's going to blow the top off the defense, and they're going to hold the other side of the defense with Irwin. He splits the two defenders, turns on the Jets, and Joe Burrow.
He's still got a lot of that special teamer in him, too.
Oh, no doubt.
Burrow back to the air, low throw, but it's scooped up and a 1st down at the 36-yard line.
You know, they're expecting him to hold up in protection when they run down the field on the deep strikes.
On 3rd and 2, the swing to Chase. On the edge with blockers in front, and Jamar Chase on 3rd down. Cardinals rush 4, quick swing to Chase. Chase on the edge. He's got the 1st down. 2nd and 13 at the 26. Burrow to the air, finds Jamar Chase, and Chase has the 1st down.
Up top.
Off the play fake. Burrow, flush to the right. Looking for the back of the end zone. It's Chase again. His 3rd touchdown catch of the day.
And Chase is going to run up and then all the way back down the back end line above the Cardinals and just mirror his quarterback, and right there. Oh, that's exactly what they needed.
1st and 10 at the 28 is Jamar Chase with blockers in front, and Chase stretching that record.
He knows how to do things with the ball downfield.
2nd down and 1. Burrow sends it to Jamar Chase. 2nd down and 1. Fake the run. Toss it. Chase looks for an opening. Absorbs the contact.
The right people means you don't have to hold your blocks quite as long.
Burrow airs it out. Coming back for it. Jamar Chase. Flag on the play. Spin move by Chase. Bonus yards after the grab.
Look at him working against Reek Woolen. Gave a little subtle shove in the back to keep Woolen going in one direction, and he put the brakes on and came.
First play of the 2nd quarter here for the Bengals. Burrow fires it. Caught by Chase.
May not get downfield too quickly, but always open.
1st down from the 13. Burrow feeds it to Jamar Chase. 2nd and 7. Burrow gets rid of it quickly. It's Chase.
So you need that game to show you he's getting healthier. I saw signs of that in the last game.
On 1st down with pressure, able to get it to Chase. And the ball comes out at the end of this. Chase had the catch for about 7 yards and then falls on it. Gene back in the studio. First drive for Cincinnati, and they're moving. Already picking up a couple of 1st downs as Chase has another one with that. 49ers trying to recover after 2 straight losses. After 5 opening wins, and here's Burrow's throw down the middle, and again it's Chase from beyond the 28. There's Chase. He's going to figure it out. Bounces off of 2 tackles with a marker coming out.
He's inside again, Jim. Fred Warner, here's the matchup.
There's Chase.
Or do they have 0 timeouts there?
Yeah, they got.
It looks like there's 3.
They're all good. They got 3. As the catch is made by
looks
Chase.
Like they got 0. That's a tough matchup for anyone.
With 16 straight completions, make it 17. A personal best as Chase. Now 3rd and 16. Underneath they go. Chase gets it into field goal range.
In his career leading up to that, Jim.
Now here they are on 1st and 10 from the 17. Wide open! Touchdown! Jamar Chase. Oh, what a... Here's Burrow out of the gun. Over and up, above they go, and Chase.
Burrow will throw it. Chase goes up, gets it.
Dane Jackson stretched that play. Chase in motion. Burrow gets it to him. And a good play to stop him. Burrow gets to the second play on 4th and 1. He throws complete for the first down to the 25-yard line with Chase.
That's not what it is.
Travion Williams now in there as the back. Bills bring some heat. Chase gets free.
3-1 home record, 3rd and 11 here. Round the block, quick throw, shy, grab. Just zeroed in on him on that last replay. 3rd and 14. Burrow goes deep, and he's got Chase. Williams had a block, and Brown had a block. The two tackles go, and deep. He's got him! Chase at the 20. You can kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Blocked by Williams, time to throw. Downfield, Chase, he's got him.
When you can't even see the safeties on this. They're in a deep cover two once again. They're trying to keep everything in front. Don't give up the big play.
Chase on the fly.
We played a lot down the stretch last year. He begins to warm up. Here is Chase taking it, and Chase made his NFL debut earlier this season. Looking, throwing, and that's going to be caught for the touchdown by Jamar Chase.
He's going to sell the fade and then come back. Ball's already in the air. And that's just, you're going to put it to a spot and have your receiver work back to it. And we know Jamar Chase can do.
So the Bengals take over. First time that Warren has lost a fumble. The throw to Jamar Chase. Hudson won a Super Bowl as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, stints with San Francisco and the Giants. That pass deflected and caught by Jamar Chase. Zigzag move by Chase. Out of bounds.
Jamar Chase sees the ball tipped, and a lot of guys will give up on the route, but he stays with it, and when the ball's in the air, he comes underneath it. Michael Walker makes an excellent play for Pittsburgh, dropping into coverage. Watch number 38 get his hands on the football. Exactly what you want to do. But Chase stays with it with concentration.
And that's not a knock on a backup wide receiver or a backup safety. It's just the responsibility that requires. Up in the air, snagged by Chase.
Because he's doing it to the player that he went and got involved with and beat, and Joey Porter Jr. That ball.
Week 12 in the NFL, Pittsburgh leads at 10-7 to start the fourth. Off the deflection, another grab by Chase.
Quick throw, pass caught by Chase. 3rd down and 7, and this one complete but short as Jamar Chase is in Vegas. Here's Browning. There's Chase. Not much. A yard. Got T. Higgins back in their lineup. That was him in motion. Here's Jamar Chase one-on-one with Williams, and Darius Williams. Here's Jamar Chase. He breaks one tackle, takes it inside the 40. 3rd down and 4. Browning has a man. Chase, one-handed grab.
He just wanted to take it right away with Mixon, but instead he goes outside, does a good job, and obviously Jamar Chase, one of the best receivers in all of football, makes a nice play on this ball that was thrown behind him.
3rd down and about a yard and a half. Extra men on the rush. This one floated, caught by Chase, and he is gone. Touchdown Cincinnati as he takes it into the end zone. He beat Tyson.
Well, the Jaguars are going to bring pressure, and Browning knows exactly where he's going with the football. He's got one-on-one press coverage, and he goes to the number 1 receiver, Jamar Chase, and throws a perfect ball.
The line of scrimmage, he delivers a block as Browning goes to his right and finds Jamar Chase for a 1st down Cincinnati. Analytics says go for it. They just get the play away. Browning, this time Chase makes the catch. Here's one for Chase, a bobble, and he got it.
Great throw by Jake Browning. You know, he had a chance, a perfect throw, placed right where it needed.
Here's Chase. A stiff arm, and very close to 1st down yardage.
Second down and 3 off the play fake. Browning to throw. Pass is complete. He's got Chase. And off the play fake to Mixon. Browning to throw again to the sidelines. Chase, he's got it. He was in front of his man. 2. On first down, here's Chase. Chase, a little jet sweep, trying to stiff arm his way free. Nothing was doing.